G'day everybody, Sean from Bourbon Brothers here. I hope you're well. Welcome to our June tasting videos. Really excited about this month. We're having a wheated month. Following up from our Buffalo Trace month last month, our first bourbon comes out of the Buffalo Trace distillery again. It's the Weller Special Reserve. The Weller Special Reserve, it's a straight bourbon, comes out of Sazerac, the Buffalo Trace distillery. It's an ongoing release, comes in at 90 proof or 45 ABV, doesn't have an age statement. The mash bill, it's undisclosed, but it's Buffalo Trace's wheated mash bill, which is corn, wheat, and malted barley. So let's learn a little bit about Weller. WL Weller, it's a wheated bourbon originally created by the Stitzel Weller Distilling Company. The brand is named after William LaRue Weller, a distiller who is credited by some as being the first to use wheat as a secondary grain in straight bourbon as opposed to the more commonly used rye. Notably, William LaRue Weller hired the famous Julian Van Winkle, who would later become known as Pappy Van Winkle, when he began his career working for Weller. Weller passed away in 1899, and coincidentally his company W.L. Weller and Sons later merged with the A.P.H. Stitzel Distillery, which was owned by his former employee Julian Pappy Van Winkle. The companies worked together through Prohibition, operating under a medicinal license, and eventually became the Stitzel Weller Distilling Company in 1935. W.L. Weller Special Reserve is considered the most common of the W.L. Weller lineup, and is one of the 3 bottles that are at one time released on an ongoing basis and commonly seen in bottle shops in the US. This also included the WL Weller Antique 107 and the WL Weller 12-year-old. They were joined by the less common William LaRue Weller, which is part of the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection and released annually each year. In December of 2016, the 3 ongoing releases underwent a label redesign. The lineup expanded in 2018 with the addition of WL Weller CYPB, which is short for Craft Your Perfect Bourbon, and then again in 2019 with the addition of WL Weller Foolproof, and they were most recently joined by WL Weller Single Barrel. But good luck if you can get a hold of them. Years ago, when I first started drinking Weller Special Reserve, it was one of only a few bourbons with wheat as a secondary grain in the mash bill. At the time, Maker's Mark was the most notable competition, but since then Larceny and a handful of others have been added to that list. Let's give it a shot. The Weller really has those classic aromas of vanilla and caramel, and then you get some sort of honey wafting up from the glass as well. It's actually punctuated by a light trace of oak with a floral note, but you've really got to get a strong inhale pull to bring that out. Although it's characteristically sweet and noticeably soft in its delivery. Cheers. So the bourbon maintains its abundant sweetness on the palate. It delivers a tasty yet classic mix of honey and caramel and vanilla and light fruit, and a very slight amount of oak rounds things out. Spice doesn't really make an appearance, likely as a result of the wheated mash bill, and it's relatively low proof. But in doing so, it allows those sweet flavours to really come forth. The resulting experience is a nice one, leaving little to complain about aside from its characteristic gentle delivery. So on that finish, you get the slightest amount of heat appearing, followed by a more intense oak note than what came forth in the nose or the palate. Honey and caramel make a welcome reappearance, turning a general oaky warmth back to the sweeter notes to cap things off. It's delicate overall, and the finish bestows a well-rounded and quite pleasant ending to the sip. So that's our Weller Special Reserve. I hope you enjoyed and you're enjoying your journey. Cheers. What is the capital of Lisbon?
Of what?
Lisbon. No, that is the capital. What country?
Lisbon.
What country has the capital city of Lisbon?
I have no idea.
Still works. All right, here we go. I got this. I kind of over poured that one too. Yeah, it's going to be a night. You hanging around? Cigars? Lick it up. Let it go to waste. All right. So it really has those classic bourbon, vanilla, and caramel smells, apparently. Odours.